Hello, Bellin. Yeah, I like green shirts. Yeah, Lucky Charms. It's magically delicious. All right, hello everyone. So today is English Q&A session. Q&A means question and answer. So if you have questions, ask me and I will give you answers. And today is the on-stage edition. So every day people say, "Can I come on stage and talk to you? Can I come on stage and talk to you?" Every day. But you can't come talk to me every day. But you can come talk to me today. Today. Today is the on-stage edition. So today you can raise your hand and come on stage and talk to me. The way it makes you feel. What's that supposed to mean? The way it makes you feel. It's a good song. Michael Jackson. Hello, Galena. The way you make me feel. Okay, so I am waiting. I am waiting for someone to raise their hand and come talk to me. Good evening. Hello, Edouard. Hello, Farad. Hello, Dokan. Hello, hello, hello. Lucky Charms, that's right. Hello, Hero. How are you? You would like to ask who became fluent in the language? Who are you? Who are you asking? Me? I'm fluent because that's my native language. And hello, Universal Beijing Resort. That's an interesting name. I'm okay, Hero. Summer is here. It's getting hot now. We have to put the air conditioning on. Can you come on stage? You can. You have to raise your hand. If you raise your hand, then I'll bring you on stage. Huh? No, there's a button. You have to click the button for hand raise. I don't see you raising your hand. There's a button on the screen that says raise hand. There we go. Oh, no, that's Nick. Universal, you gotta find the raise hand button. What, Belen? What is this? Well, it's strange, but I can't see you. All right, let's try another way. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can click on you and just invite you up. Wow, so weird. Yeah, Universal, something strange is happening. I can't see you in the audience at all. Can you go out of the room and come back in? Yeah, do that. Do that, and then maybe it'll work. Okay? All right, so... Oh, there's Universal. All right, let's talk to Universal, and then after Universal, I'll talk to Nick.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good. And you're in China where? In Beijing or where?
Beijing.
Okay, great. And I like your antlers. It's cute. They're cute. No, I like it.
Because I don't clean my hair.
No, it's okay.
I
What you
need to
done?
clean it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's cute. I like it. It's like I like it. It's cute.
It's a crab. No?
Ah, yeah, I see. It's a crab. Ah, 螃蟹. Ah, 我知道. Okay.
螃蟹.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what can I do for you today? How can I help you? Do you have a question for me?
Yeah. Oh, okay. First of all, I will explain why I use this name. Okay. Universal Beijing Resort is a new opening. Universal Resort. I know that like Universal Resort in Japan, Universal Resort in American too. One is in like Florida, another is in I forgot. Yeah, so this one new opening in China, in Beijing, the capital. And yeah, a lot of guests they want to visit our park, but when they want to buy ticket, they if they don't have Chinese Continental phone number, they couldn't buy tickets or reserve room in official website, official
right
platform. So I use this name. If someone want to visit our park, they could contact me, and then I could offer service.
I see. Wow.
Yeah, I could charge some rate.
Yeah. Oh, 很聪明.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, that's good.
I'm 聪明. Yeah.
Yeah, 很聪明. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so well, that's good. I like that. Okay, so you're trying to offer a service then.
Yeah.
Marketing. Good for you. Good for you. So, okay, so what can I do for you for your English? How can I help you with your English?
I don't know. It's okay. Don't worry. You don't have to, because I think in like English or like language, it's just for use for speak.
That's true.
As long as you could understand me, even I made some grammar mistake, yeah, you still could understand me.
Yeah. Right. I agree. Yeah. So, well, yeah, and I think you do speak pretty well. Yeah. 我觉得你的英文不错.
Sometime, okay. I have been reminded that the time maybe
你没有时间.
you stop.
Yeah. Okay, 没关系啊.
Maybe okay.
Okay, well, it was
So,
nice to meet you. 很高兴认识你.
No. I mean, we could talk until it be closed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, manually.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a time limit, but I can't see it. So,
Yeah.
and what is your real name? Do you have an English name or just a Chinese name?
English name, Jolens.
Jolens. How do you spell it? Some ping.
Okay, I will type it.
Yeah, type it for
me. It's I created it.
Oh wow, that's pretty. did you make that name?
Yeah, because I always want to be unique.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's unique. That's a unique name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people like in China, some people always call like apple, banana,
我知道，我知道。
like
Yeah.
Amy Kitty. It's
Yeah.
too normal. Too
Yeah.
many Amy and Kitty.
Yeah, and
I
Elsa.
called this
Many,
name
many, many
before.
Elsas.
Yeah, I called this let's name before, but then I think it's too normal. It didn't show my like personality.
Okay.
So I asked my teacher to make a new name for me, and then my teacher helped me make a new name and pronounce it to me, but with different letters,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I think that name is looks not nice. So I created this one.
Yeah,
So I use
that's
this one.
nice. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, there's another name in English that I like that sounds almost like it. There's the name Jocelyn. Do you know that name?
Jasmine
Yeah.
and Julene.
Yeah,
and like-
Jolene. Yeah. Jolene is another good
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Jolene, there's a very famous song called Jolene. Have you ever heard that
Yeah.
song? Yeah, Dolly Parton. Really great song. Yeah. So, all right, well, Jolens, I like that. It's like Jolene. Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, because my Chinese name
Mm-hmm.
is similar to my Chinese name.
Ah,
My Chinese name is Zhou Liting.
Zhou Liting. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you also could have been Julie. Julie,
too many
Julie.
Julie too.
Yeah, that's right. Julie's common.
But it's
Yeah,
unique. It's
Yeah.
only one Julens.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, English names are like that. Like my name is Mark. Do you know how many Marks there are? Mark is a very common name. Sometimes when I
Yeah.
was in school, in my class, there might be 3 or 4 Marks in one class, So yeah, my name is very, very common. What they do in America, if you have more than one Mark, then you say the letter of their family name. So you'll say Mark S and Mark K and Mark T and Mark J.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, last generation, Zihan
Mhm.
is really famous name, but with different Chinese character. So you read it when you see the character, it's different name but with same pronunciation. So the teacher is crazy
Mhm.
because too many Zihan.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
宋子涵、李子涵、
Yeah.
刘子涵、
我知
郭
道。
子涵。
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, or like the family name Lee. There's so many Lees too, right?
Yeah.
There's so many
Yeah.
Lees. Yeah. But
Yeah, Li is a big family name
yeah,
in China.
right.
China.
Yeah, or Wong.
Because it's Zhao Qian Sun Li. We
Mhm.
have 100 very famous, really popular,
Names.
or really famous surname.
Yeah, family names, right? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Zhao Qian Sun Li. Li is the fourth.
Fourth most popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. When I was I used to teach English in Taiwan, and when I was teaching English in Taiwan in 2016, 2017, and the movie Frozen, the movie Frozen was out, and all of the girls in Taiwan all wanted to be called Elsa. Elsa and Anna, Elsa and Anna, Elsa and Anna. So every class I had 3 Elsas and 4 Annas, and every class. Yeah. It was kind of, yeah. Sometimes I would say, 你确定这是你的名字吗？你确定吗？你可以别的，你可以做用别的, use a different name, because I was like, so many Elsas, there's too many Elsas, Elsa everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I need to I need to highlight something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Taiwan is belongs to China.
Yes, 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 we all know.
Okay. Okay, nice.
But so let me ask you this. What do you normally do? What is your job? 你做什么工作?
Yeah, I'm an English customer service work in Universal Beijing Resort.
English customer service for
Yeah.
so that's why you're doing it. That's your
Yeah.
job. Oh, okay. That does make sense now. Okay. I thought this was
Yeah.
a side hustle, maybe. But no, this is your job. I get it now. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's why I know there is some market people need the service
Mm.
because a lot of people a lot of foreigner they call me then ask me can I add your WeChat and then you could help me reserve tickets and the hotel, but in company phone I said no, it's not allowed it to add. You could ask
I
your friend
see.
to do it.
I
But
see.
they say, I don't have friend. I'm new here. Then
Mm-hmm.
I have said, maybe you have to buy tickets on board. Then like, or maybe you have to buy tickets like through while the third party channel.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good though. That's like I said, that's like a good side hustle that you're doing. So you
Yeah.
can't say it at work, but you're doing it just on the side. Yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah,
like
I will do it privately,
yeah, sure.
secretly.
Yeah, you're a facilitator. You're just facilitating. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Jolens, I'm going to let you go because I need to talk to some other people today. But it was nice
Okay,
to
sure,
talk to
sure,
you.
sure.
And
Actually,
yeah.
the time is up
Oh,
because
okay.
it it reminded me that I have to pay, but I don't click no click yes, then I still could talk.
Okay.
Don't worry. Have a nice day.
Okay, well, thank you, and come back and see me again sometime, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
no
good luck
problem.
with your
See
work.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, who else has a question for me? She was funny. She was funny, and she made the point that I make most of the time, which her English was good enough. Her English was good enough for her to talk with me freely. Her English was good enough for her to make a side business based on English. Was her English perfect? No, but who cares? Just like my Chinese is not perfect, but I don't care. You know? The test of language is not perfection. The test of language is communication. Okay, so I'm waiting for the next person to come on stage. If you have a question, then raise your hand and come on stage. All right, I'm looking at the comments. Please be patient. Let me try to read some comments and catch up here. How can you change your accent? Nick, did you want to come on stage and ask me that? It's easier for me to help you with your accent if I can hear you. Okay? It's hard to help you if I just, you know, how can I help you with your accent just by typing? That's not going to work, right? It's a sound problem, right? Hello to all the new people. What's the level of the book Jenny Colgan? I'm not familiar with that one. Let me check. Jenny Colgan. One moment. Let's try that again. Uh, I think she has too many books that there are different levels. That's what it looks like. I'm not familiar with her work, but it looks like she writes for adults. So in general, they're adult level. So that would be B2, C1 mostly. Some C2 probably also, right? But these books are not graded, and if they're not graded and they write many different books, then they might be at many different levels. So I would probably say, as a general adult level, they would probably be around a B2 to C1 level. Okay, the majority. Excuse me. Okay, and hello, Deandra. Aw, thank you for that comment, Hero. You're so nice, man. You know, every once in a while, I like to pop into your streams just to see what you're doing. You're a good dude. I can tell that. I like good dudes. Yes, I remember Bellin and Bellin when I was there. BB. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with the comments. I will get you on stage in just 1 second. You want to talk about your experience learning English, okay? We can do that. Is there a difference between meat and beef? Yes, there is, Jandis. Beef is only cow meat. Meat is general. That's chicken, beef, pork, lamb, rabbit, all of that is meat. So meat is the general word for any kind of animal muscle. That's meat. But beef is only for cow meat, right? So the word beef comes from the French word boeuf, which actually, if I remember, comes from a Latin word before that too. But okay, let's see. Diego, let's talk to Diego first, and then we've got Long behind him.
Hey, Mark.
Hello,
Good
Diego.
morning.
Hola, how are you, my friend?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good today, thanks.
Good.
For me, I want to say thank you for having me. For me, it's a pleasure being here talking with you today.
And thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
I'm a follower of yours, and whenever I have time and you start your lives, I watch them. Either it's on Hello Talk or YouTube.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What you do, it's very helpful. You know.
Thank you.
You are bringing this valuable content to us. I also watched you recently uploaded a video on your YouTube channel, and you were with the kind of a band. Are you part of a band, right?
Yeah. My first job and my main job is I'm a drummer. You know, so like that's my personality. When people ask me what do I do. Now I do tell them I'm an English teacher, but it's hard because honestly I just want to say I'm a drummer because that's what I feel like. I'm just a drummer, you know, but I teach English also. So yeah, do I still play? I have a few bands I still play with. I don't play as much as I used to. That used to be my full-time job where maybe I would teach drum lessons every week. Sometimes I had 50 to 70 students a week. And then I also would play music in bars and clubs at night, you know, 4, 5, 6 nights a week for many, many years. Like probably about 20 years I did that. But now
that sounds pretty interesting.
So I've been teaching English since 2009.
You have been here for 12 years so far.
Almost.
On the application.
Yeah, almost.
That's a miracle.
Years. Yeah.
That's a miracle.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody has the same dedication onto doing something, most
Yeah.
people just give up
Mm-hmm.
before they get started.
Yeah.
I just joined 1 year ago. My day streak is almost 1 year
Yeah.
here in the application, and I'm pretty sure that I will continue here learning and improving my English.
That's
This
great.
is what I needed. I
Yeah.
feel like this is what I needed.
Yeah, you know,
Because,
when I found Hello Talk, I just I found it originally because I was working on my Chinese, but
Uh-huh.
then I just found it was just an app that spoke to me, that like, wow, this is so cool. I can talk to people anywhere in the world and just find somebody in a crazy place and talk to them. And so then it became less about learning Chinese and more just about, wow, this is so cool that I can find somebody in, Pakistan and talk to them, and find somebody in South Africa and talk to them, and find somebody in Brazil and talk to them. That was just really cool for me. And so, yeah, I've been on the app for a long time, because I've always wanted to be a global-minded person. I've always felt like a global-minded person, and when I found the app and when I became an English teacher, that's when I started feeling like that global person that I wanted to be.
And having a friend in every corner.
Yeah, that was my goal.
I get
That was
it.
my goal, yeah, to have at least one friend. I just thought it would be such a cool thing if I could just say, I could choose anywhere in the world and fly there, and somebody will go meet me at the airport. You know, how cool would that
That's
be to be able to
nice.
go anywhere in the world and have somebody say like, yeah, man, I'll come meet you. That would be great, That'd
Well,
be fun.
my country is not as safest for you, and it's not like most interesting country, but for sure you have a friend here, okay?
Yeah, of
So-
course. And you're in Colombia?
Venezuela.
Oh, Venezuela, right? Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
see, this is where it gets complicated because, sometimes I talk to people in Venezuela or Iran, and it's like, I wish I could come visit. It would be nice if I could come visit. I really would, but yeah, there are just some places where, unfortunately, it's not the best idea for certain people from certain countries to travel to their, those places.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does. But like I said in the comments, I thought it would be interesting joining to your live stream because I want to talk about my experience. So that's what I'm gonna do, right?
Please, yeah, by all means, tell us.
Yeah, when it comes to me, it was around 2011. FYI, I'm 22 years old. So in 2011, I was just 9 years old.
Wow.
But for Christmas, 2011 Christmas, my father bought me a computer, a
Mhm.
PC. So what happened was that this PC had an emulator installed of the Nintendo 64 console, and the crazy thing was that all of these games were in English.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there. I was this little 9 years old kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm from a Spanish-speaking country. So I started playing the games. So you can tell that I had no idea of what the games were about. I was playing Mario 64,
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart 64,
Mm-hmm.
all of the 64 console games,
Mhm.
and I was just leaving myself being kind of guided by the game,
Mm-hmm.
So it was intuition. I was very curious, so I started reading this text in English telling me what to do, but I had no idea, and I started like learning words, but just single words. Like, okay, so what does hello mean?
Right.
What does card
Mhm.
means? What does this mean? So we also had a dictionary,
Mhm.
a translation dictionary from English to Spanish and
Mhm.
back and forth. And I started using it. So, looking for single words. Oh, so this means this. Oh,
Mhm.
that means that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, let's go. let's continue. So I was, gathering this vocabulary, but I wasn't conversational at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I didn't start learning English with this intention to, okay, I'm going to learn English using this method. So around this time, I'm going to be able to talk to someone or to use the language for doing something. No, I was just learning because I like it. I love the way it sounded. When I used to, spend so much time on YouTube. And when I watch these YouTube videos, these advertisements, interviews, I loved the way it sounded, and I said, okay, there's no choice. I have to learn this language. I love it. So something that happened after that was that I was able to read people's clothes. So I was
right.
walking.
Yeah. Shirts. Yeah.
I was walking on street, and I said, like, people, hey, today is a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, it says hoy es un hermoso día in Spanish.
Yeah.
So then I was in school, and a lot of my colleagues in school had notebooks. So I was like, okay, it says you're so nice, the notebook. So okay, dice, eres muy lindo, eres muy amable.
Yeah. That's great, man. Good for you. Just little translations.
Really. Yeah. So Nike and the people's shirts, just do it.
Right.
Just do. Okay. Solo hazlo. And I say, oh, hey, I'm really learning. So when I graduated from school to high school, I started, receiving this very basic English lessons from teachers. And I always was like outstanding in class. So when my teacher asked the students, okay, can someone tell me what does it mean in English? So I was like, me. So it means this. Okay, nice, congratulations. It's correct. So let's move on to the next one. So someone in class tell me what does it mean, and it was me again. Hey, me, I know. And the answer again, it was correct. So
good for you.
My teacher started getting mad because of it. So I wasn't letting no one participate.
Right. Yeah.
And see what? Okay, so can someone tell me what does it mean? But no, Diego, you don't tell me.
Yeah.
You don't tell me. I want another person to participate and tell me what does it mean. So my colleagues barely could, say something. So it was outstanding. My note in English was the highest, always.
That's great.
And so I had the skills. So in 2020, I was working, because I have to say, in 2019, I moved to Colombia.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a horrible situation at home, honestly. So we moved there. I moved there with my mom.
So are you there in Colombia now or in Venezuela now?
In Venezuela.
Oh, okay. But you were there.
I would tell you very, very quickly.
Okay.
So let me continue.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
So we moved there. We found a job at a food truck. This food truck. They sold hamburgers, hot dogs, a variety of meals. So I was working there, and a music was playing in the background. So when I listened to that music, I clearly understood that it says, I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be. So wow, I really understood what the song said. I had never listened to that song before. So I was watching a movie. So when the movie, at the end of the movie, the credits. So the credits showed up, and a music was playing, and it was John Newman, "Love Me Again," and I again understood, like, I need to know now. Can you love me again? And I was surprised. I told my friends, hey, I understood what the song said. And so when that happened, I said, okay, there's no comeback, there's no return point. I really started understanding things by myself. I never went to an English course, an English institute. It was all by myself because we had no the resources to do that. Because our income here has always been very low. So sadly, my country currently has the lowest income, the lowest minimum wages in the world. So it was so difficult. And I found something on YouTube called Real English Conversations Podcast. It was this Canadian couple having conversations between them, and the rhythm of conversation was so low, so understandable, so clear. And I started listening to that podcast and write it down what I understood. So at the end, I downloaded the actual transcription from their website, and I then compared it to my transcription. So that's what I understood. This is the transcription. So let's compare. And at some point, I started rating this 99%, understanding what the podcast said. So today, I can say that I reached this conversational level in English. I'm conversational in English. And you know what? The last month, I found a job as a cold caller at a call center.
Wow, good for you.
A real estate company in Mexico.
This is what I was just going to tell you, was that there's one benefit to being in the country that has the lowest wages in the world. If you have a skill like you have great English, you can do online work and get paid rates from another country. So if you find a job in America, you'll get paid American wages that will go a lot further in Venezuela, Yeah, so Mexican wages too. Again, so now you've got a job in Mexico. That's great. The wages there, I'm sure, are better. So that means that's good for you. That's, like I said, that's the one thing. The nice thing about being at the bottom is there's only one way to go. It's up, right?
You can go anywhere else.
That's right. Yeah,
you can go anywhere else.
So that's right. Things will get better because that's all that can happen. And then, like I said, there's a benefit to that. When like I live in the United States, and if I do online work for Asia, the money they want to pay me isn't enough for here. Like many people from around the world, when they see my price for my lessons, they say, it's too expensive, I can't afford it. And I understand, but you don't understand how much life here is so expensive that I'm not trying to charge a lot of money. I'm not charging a lot of money. $20 an hour is nothing here. That's what you get paid at McDonald's. McDonald's you get paid that much money. So what am I supposed to get paid? I'm an English teacher, So yeah, that's the one thing that's different, is we live in a world now where something new is happening, where it used to be maybe 30 years ago, if you wanted to go work in another country, you could. And maybe the economics were good. Like you could move to another country and that their economics were better, so that's good for you. But now we have an ability where you don't even have to move. You can find, there are many jobs you can find in another country, but you stay where you live. And that's economically very new and different, and it affects people in such a crazy way because, yeah, if you get paid just a bad salary here is a great salary there. so yeah.
So I have something to add to what you said, but before, I'm gonna answer the question of Caroline right down below. She's from Colombia. She's asking, are you working right now, Diego? Yes, I'm working as a cold caller. I'm doing call center at home for a real estate company in Mexico. So yeah, I'm working right now. So that's what I was about to say. I applied for this job on a website called Fiverr.
Yeah.
So Fiverr is intended for
Yeah.
freelancers. So
I've hired them. I've used
also
it.
I'm also you know it.
Yeah.
I'm also a video editor. So
Okay.
it's so sad that I can't do editing right now because I don't have a computer. I was working with other people, so I quit that job because things happen,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I moved home, and I said, okay, I just have a phone, and I bought my phone during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It was in 2020.
Yeah.
It now has 5 years old phone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, okay, it's it possible for me to do that, like
Yeah,
work
on an old
for a
phone.
company
Yeah.
as a cold caller?
Mm-hmm.
And the question, the answer, excuse me, was yes. So I created this image, very simple image with my photo, and I wrote, okay, are you looking for customer support? Blah 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 blah. I got you covered. So I uploaded it. The person reached me on the website, and the conversation started. So now we are there. So what I'm trying to do is save money. For me, I want to buy a PC
Mm-hmm.
and a headset,
Mm-hmm.
with the microphone. So that
Mhm.
way it would be possible for me to do it better.
Yeah.
Because
How much do you need for something like that in Venezuela?
maybe around $250.
U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the payments are in USDT through my crypto wallet.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So they're
Well,
paying
guess
me
what,
in
Diego?
Tether.
Diego,
Do you know Tether? Do you know Tether?
I do. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So here's what I want to ask you. Here's what I want to tell you. You tell me. Send me a message when you are able to get that computer. Because guess what I need to do?
What you need to do? Tell me.
I need an editor. I need a video editor.
What?
Yeah, man. My YouTube channel is full of videos, but they're all 2, 3, 4 hours long. And I've been using, what's it called? Something Studio, AI Studio or something to help me. It's AI that it'll watch the video for me, and it'll give me notes about everything I did, and it'll give me time code. And that's pretty good, but I would rather have a person. Especially if it's somebody like you. You've been watching me. You know what I do.
Hey,
You know?
you know what?
Mhm.
I've edited videos 36 minutes long,
Uh-huh.
like the duration, because I was editing a complete video course, a complete online video course for
Mhm.
a artist in Spain.
Mhm.
That was last year. So I have a complete portfolio that you can see my work, what I've
Okay.
done.
So that's
my
what
style
I
editing.
need is really easy. What I need is just somebody who can find all the moments that I do something well here, when I say something the right way and we have a good connecting moment or something like that. I need somebody to just cut those down to 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute clips. That's it. The videos are there, they're done. All I need to do is somebody just to watch them and just cut them where they think it's good,
Are you looking for vertical content, like for social media?
Yeah. I want small clips that I can upload to TikTok and to Bilibili and Douyin and Little Red Book and all the Chinese social media and those things. So yeah, honestly, really, I'm telling you that if you can get a computer, I just found a girl who also is going to be helping me. I think she's going to be helping you from the Philippines. She wants to help me do some stuff with my social media, and I think she does some video editing also. But that's my new goal. Is I'm trying to put together a team of people to finally help me to do the things I need to do, because I have so much I need to do and I can't do it all myself. That's why I struggle so much, because it's just me. But this girl, she seems to be really good at what she's doing, and she's starting to help me with some of my social media and whatever. And so I'm just telling you that you keep working on that computer goal, and if you can get it, then I'm telling you, I'm not joking when I say that I need a video editor. I need someone that I can pay to clip my videos and just upload them to YouTube. You know, so I'll hire you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's
really.
great.
Yeah. So you just let me know when that happens, and maybe we can work together.
Yeah.
You know.
I already have half the money.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
just waiting.
we'll just have the only other thing that we have to figure out is if I could hire you, how I can pay you, because it is tricky. Again, being in America, and there are certain countries. But I think you figured it out. If you're on Fiverr, then you must have figured it out.
No. I'm not using Fiverr because, and it's sad, because they're losing money
Oh, really?
because of
Yeah.
it. So, if someone pays me an order through Fiverr, I have to wait 2 weeks, 2 freaking weeks. Okay,
Mhm.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, besides that, I need to pay a commission. So,
Mm.
one person recently paid me $5, and I got 4.
Right.
Okay, so the higher the payment is, the higher the commission, and I don't want to lose money.
Right.
I want the higher amount of money possible. So
Right. Yeah. Well, we can work something out. I think. Well.
yeah, I'm just about to say, do you know Binance? Do you know Binance is a crypto wallet?
I've heard about it, but I don't have it.
Yeah. So I'm getting paid in USDT, USD Tether. It's
Okay.
the cryptocurrency and a stable coin. So each Tether is worth $1.
Okay.
So you basically pay me in dollars. So I can send you my crypto wallet address. You
Okay.
can pay me, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, we can figure that out. You'll have to teach me how to do that because I know nada about crypto. Zero, zip, nada, zilch.
You just have to complete this KYC
Okay.
during signing up. Know your customer.
Yes.
So you take a picture of your face, your national identity document, because it's a very secure
Mhm.
secure wallet. It's a global platform.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
Okay. Well,
It's pretty simple.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah,
And
you sound good,
I'm
man.
going to send you a message.
Okay, yeah,
I'm going
do.
to send you a message
Make
when I
sure
buy the
you
computer.
do. Yeah, do. Yeah, and send me a private message after this because I get too many messages on Hello Talk. So I need to connect with you maybe on. Do you use Telegram or do you use what do you use? WhatsApp?
I do have Telegram
Okay,
and WhatsApp.
So maybe
Yeah.
we can hook up on one of those because I get too many messages on Hello Talk and it's too hard to communicate on Hello Talk for me now. But I would like to connect with you on one of the other apps and then maybe we can talk about working together later. Okay.
Yeah. I won't say your message because I can tell you must have 20,000 messages. I know. So it's crazy. You have so many followers.
Yeah. It's
And before getting off stage, thank you so much for having me. It was a really nice conversation.
It was great. It was great to hear your story.
If it's possible, do you want to share your feedback about my English with me, right very quickly?
Your English is excellent, and everyone was saying so. Everyone was saying how they're jealous of your English and how they wish they had English teachers. And you, just like Joe Lentz earlier, both of you have one quality that's important, which is that you speak English like a performer. And what that means is you're not shy. You're not shy. Language is a performance, everyone. And so when you look at him and you say, wow, he speaks so well, I wish I could speak like that, about 80% of the reason why he speaks well is because he's confident. He's confident. Joe Lentz was the same way. She speaks well. Why? Because she's confident. Because she's not worried about the grammar. She's not worried about making mistakes. She's not worried about what people think.
That's bullshit.
Right, just
That's
like
bullshit.
Diego. Yeah, you can't worry. You can't worry about what other people think if you want to speak well, right? So that's what Joe Lentz and Diego both have one thing in common. They don't care what people think, and that's why they speak well, because they don't care. And because you don't care, you don't worry. And if you don't worry, you have more confidence. And if you have more confidence, people think you sound better. So, yeah, confidence is key. Confidence is key. Confidence is key. Yeah. So
Ok,
Diego,
thank you. Belén,
very well.
envíame un mensaje privado. Belén me está ofreciendo a su hija cuando crezca. She's offering me her daughter when she grows up.
Yeah.
To marry her. To marry her.
I know.
I'm gonna marry.
So I don't know if you know, but Bella is my good friend. I just visited her in Madrid just last year, and so yeah, she's talking about her daughter Adriana.
I'm going to marry your daughter, Belén.
She's a bit young now, but we'll see. Maybe.
Okay, so thank you so much. Before getting off the stage, I want to give a brief message to all the Hispanic people.
Go ahead.
Who's in the live right now. Entonces, a mi gente que está en el live ahora, que son de España, de Colombia, de Ecuador, de cualquier país hispanohablante, como dijo mi amigo Mark, la confianza es clave, muchachos. Si quieren aprender inglés, no se enfoquen en el tema de que la gramática, necesito saber la gramática porque si no, no sé nada. Eso es basura. Eso no los va a hacer hablar. Enfóquense en mejorar su listening. Ser capaces de lo que ustedes escuchan, entenderlo y luego responder. Eso es todo. Yo no estaba pensando en gramática hablando con Mark ahora, para que ustedes sepan. ¿Me entienden? Y se dieron cuenta de la conversación que acabamos de tener. Entonces, ese es mi mensaje, muchachos. Me tomó alrededor de 8 o 9 años alcanzar este nivel. Nunca me rendí. Habían momentos en los que sentí que me estaba perdiendo a mí mismo, estaba tratando de ser alguien que no era, porque hay algo llamado el síndrome del impostor. Cuando aprendemos un idioma, sentimos que estamos tratando de ser alguien que no somos. No es así. Ustedes se están comunicando, ustedes están utilizando otro sistema de comunicación que no es el de ustedes, ¿ok? Entonces, recuerden mis palabras, no se rindan, y no solo para los hispanohablantes, cualquier persona que esté aprendiendo español y pueda entenderme, ese es mi mensaje. Entonces, deseo que todos tengan un excelente día, Dios los bendiga, persigan sus metas, no se detengan, porque alguna vez les va a dar fruto y se van a sentir muy feliz como yo me siento ahora.
Okay, so my Spanish is not that good. Can you give us a brief translation? Can you sum up?
God.
Can you sum up a little bit what you said? Can you just sum up a little bit what you said in English for everyone else?
This is not a scripted. Okay, so my message for people was never give up. Sometimes when you're learning a language, you feel like you're trying to be another person that you are not, and that's a lie. You're just using another system, another code to express your thoughts. You know, to communicate with another person. And my message for people, it took me around 9 years. I lost count, honestly, to learn and reaching this conversational level. So my message for them is never give up, and all the hard work pays off eventually, and you will be so happy when that happens. You'll be so happy. I feel so freakingly happy right now.
Good. You should be. You should be. You know, the way I think about it, Diego, is learning a language is kind of like wearing sunglasses. When you wear sunglasses, you see the world in a different color, a different way, right? And so when you learn a language, it's like that. You are still you, but you're communicating in a new way, and it does change you a little bit, because it does let you see the world in a new way, right? When you learn a new language, you see the world in a completely new way. Just like you, when you were, you know, you're living in a Spanish world, but suddenly you hear English words and you're like, wow, you know, like it changes your world. You're like, wow, that's different. Now I can see something I couldn't see before, you know? So every time you learn a new language, yeah, that's what it's like when you walk down the street. I feel the same way about Chinese. Like, you know, I live in the United States, but every time I see Chinese now, and I'm like, I know what that means. And it's like, wow, you know, like that feels good, you know?
Mark, I'm learning Chinese right now. You know what?
Okay.
You know why? You know
I
why?
can teach you.
I was selected for a scholarship.
Good for you.
the last year. So this scholarship is for me to send me to China and learn Chinese.
Wow, good for
But
you.
I'm on the the project. I got my English exams approved, my psychological test approved, health exams approved, and I'm on the in the program. But I don't know what happened. On February, we were supposed to move to China, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're still asking them.
Still
so
working on
what's
it.
going to happen?
Yeah.
Are you sending us? Is this still like the possibility for us to move there? So I was I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
So it was thanks to having learned in English.
Okay.
So English is a language with a very high potential to change your life.
It opens doors. Yeah, it opens doors, right? That's the word. Yeah. The word opportunity. Opportunity has the word port in it. And why does it have the word port in it? Because it's talking about doors that can be opened. Like the original word opportunity actually comes from the word port, because boats, when they would come into a new country, they had to find some way to come to the country. And you can't just take a boat anywhere. You have to take a boat to the port. That's the door into the country. So the word opportunity actually comes from the word meaning to find a way into the country. But it means an opportunity, a door that opens. Now you can go in. It's a new possibility, potential.
Porto, in Spanish, door is puerta.
That's right. Yeah, puerta. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Puerta. The word port comes from the Latin word meaning door, or to cross.
You know what does pour mean? Pour, P-O-O-R, pour. Pour.
Yeah.
It stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly.
That's good. I like that. That's like that. Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay. Well, Mark, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, Diego. Thank you for coming on my stage. And really, I appreciate you watching and all of it. And make sure you message me and we can stay in contact and get on WhatsApp or Telegram or something, okay?
God bless you. God bless you. You're doing great.
Thank you
You're
so much.
You're doing great.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care, my friend. Okay, let's see. Let me check on something over here. Hello, Hashem Nasiri. And hello, Dima. When did I start the stream? I've been on for exactly 1 hour and 34 seconds. HelloTalk released a new version of the app. You want to check if they fixed it? Yeah, I just sent them a message today, too, asking about the notification problem. So I don't know if they fixed it yet or not. And yeah, Athena, maybe you can help him if he ends up going there. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that was funny. I did not expect to speak Chinese when I was in Spain. That was funny. There were many opportunities for me to speak Chinese when I was in Spain. Okay, let me check the comments here, and then I'll get somebody else on stage here. All right. Okay, good. And yeah, that was really great. That was nice and inspiring, right? He was very smart. Yeah. Hello, Carlos. How are you? You think they've fixed it? That's good. I hope they did. All right. Let's talk to what in Iran. Raise your hand if you want to come talk to me. Oh, it's Nima. Nima, is that you?
Hi, Mark.
Nima, hello. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes. What's new?
Thanks for having me. Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. Okay, great. Okay, it's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah. I'm preparing for the TOEFL exam,
Yeah.
and I want to get highest score in all actually skills, writing, speaking, and listening and reading. And I wanted to know about your opinion about, for example, in terms of reading, I have some trouble for the time. I don't have any problem with comprehension. I can 100% understand what reading said. But I have supposed to answer all the question in 34 minutes,
Mm.
and but it's a little bit hard for me
Yeah.
to answer all the questions in a time manner.
Yeah, it's hard for anyone, to be honest. Even a native speaker, it's hard. Like that's one of the things about most of these tests. I think almost all of these tests have one really big flaw. And the flaw is that when you have a test that you want to give to everyone, you have to put a time limit on it because if you don't put a time limit, then you can't administer the test well. It's hard to give a test if there's no time limit. But the problem is, that's not how problems work in the real world. Problems are not something that, like, most problems in the world, they last more than 1 hour. What that
Yeah,
means
exactly.
is that if you have a problem, you have time to think about it and figure out the solution, right? So honestly, I feel like
Exactly.
they should have like two versions of these tests. They should have one that's under a time limit, and they should have one that's under no time limit. Because to be honest, knowing the answer is all that's important. If you know the answer, that's the
Yeah,
only thing that's
exactly.
important. So I don't really care if it took you 3 days or 1 hour. I only want to know, do you know? Do you know the answer? That's it, right?
Exactly.
And yeah,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
here's what I'll tell you. Reading, you can practice speed reading more. Okay? Skimming and speed reading.
Mhm.
So, what is skimming, everyone? Skimming means
Okay.
reading where you don't read every word, you read like every few words. You're just trying to get the gist. Do you guys know that word? Gist? Gist, the gist. The gist of something. It means just the overall picture, the big picture. You're not trying to get the perfect picture, you're trying to get the general picture. That's the gist. Okay? So if someone says, "Do you understand?" you could say, "Well, I get the gist of it." That means I generally understand. I generally understand. Okay? So,
Yeah.
speed
Yeah.
reading, where you just try to read as fast as you can, as quickly as you can to get to the bottom, and then you have to test yourself for comprehension, because that's the problem with reading fast
Yeah.
is sometimes you might misunderstand something or not get the right picture, but you have to practice. It's just like anything else, you have to practice. I don't I like to read slowly because I like to read carefully, but I can read really fast
Yeah.
if I need to. I can
Yeah.
read really, really fast.
Yeah.
And honestly, you should use your finger. Okay? Because when you're reading, you can move your finger faster than your eyes. So you can force yourself. You force yourself to read faster by making your eyes follow your finger, and your finger is moving faster. So you must go, right? So that's one technique you can use is just open the book and then follow your finger and make your finger go faster than normal so that you are forced to read not the whole sentence. You're trying to read the gist. You're trying to find all the important words and read those. Okay?
Hmm. Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
that's one thing that you could do.
In terms of listen,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
in terms of listening, for example, when I listen to everything, I can understand 100%. But when I want to take a note, I will miss some important things during the
Yeah.
listenings happening. That is my problem in the listening.
Okay. But and are you allowed to take notes during the listening? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if you are allowed to take notes, then that's another thing that you can practice is note taking. This is really important. This is really important if you are listening in English. If you're let's say you're in a college class and you have to take notes. You can't write every word the professor says. You don't write everything. You have to write just the important words. You have to write just the words that you need to remember what the professor said. So there's an art to this, to knowing how to write very short and succinct and brief and concise, easy to understand notes. That's something you can practice also. So that would be what I would say is you should practice skimming and reading faster, speed reading with your finger, and you should also practice that also. Both of those things, okay? Writing down notes, but writing down notes just quickly and writing them just the briefest, smallest thing. Sometimes you just write one word. Just one word, right?
Yeah.
If they're talking about something that's really important, you write one word. And one more thing. I didn't realize that I have a skill that many people don't have. I know how to write an outline really well. And if you know
That's
how
very
to,
weird.
if you know how to do an outline really well, you can make notes so fast and so quickly, and they're organized notes. So I have learned, I thought everybody knows how to make an outline, right? Everybody knows that. But no, they don't. Many people don't know how to make an outline, and they don't do it very often. So they're not very comfortable with it. But if you know how to make an outline, you can make amazing notes really quickly. Okay, so practice skimming and scanning. Practice writing down simple notes. Sometimes, Nima, what I do is when I first hear the professor, I write down the most basic notes I can. Maybe just one word here and one word there. And it's not that clean, it's not that organized. Then after class, I will take it immediately home, and now I will look at the notes I wrote, and now I will make an outline. Because I can remember, it's fresh. I just did it. So now I go home, and now I look at my notes. Now I make an outline from those notes, right? And now I have a better idea of what I'm doing, right? So if you're taking the test, you can't do that. But this is just good practice for learning how to outline and learning how to take quick notes, okay? Sarah wants to know, is it like writing the main points about something? Yeah, it's like the Roman numeral 1 topic, letter A subtopic, number 1, then number 2, then number 3, then small letter A. Yeah, writing an outline, everybody. Let me show you a good outline. Wait, let me just pull one up here on writing a good outline. Images. So an outline is like something like this.
Explaining complex topics.
No. I don't want a video. I want a picture. Yeah, like this. All right, this is better. Let me zoom in and I'll show it to you. Let me share the screen. This is just a basic outline, everybody, but just so you can see, okay, here's an outline, right? Number 1, introduction. Number 2, the first point. Then letter A, detail. Letter B, detail. Letter C, detail. Then the next point. Then details under that, right? This is a really good, simple way to organize thoughts and notes like this. And it was just funny to me that I just assumed everybody knows how to do that because I learned that in school. But then later I learned that many Chinese people they've never made an outline. They don't use those in school sometimes. Not all of them, but many of them do know. But I met some people who had never made an outline before. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I make outlines for so many things. That I love outlines. It's a good organized way to see things, right? When I make a speech, if I need to make a good speech, I don't write the speech. I write the outline. And then I use the outline to speak from. Because outlines are great because they're just the key points. So you can look at the key point and then think about what you need to say and then say it freely. So you're not reading. Because nobody wants to see somebody who's reading a paper. This is what I think we should do today. And after that, then we should do this. Nobody wants to see you reading. So that's why you don't write the whole sentence. You write just the key word, and then you look up and say what you need to say using that key word. Right? But this is all outline, 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 outline. Right? So I think you need to practice 3 things. 1 is simple note taking. 2 is practicing under like a time limit, right? Like practice, this is something we didn't talk about yet, but just practicing under a time limit, like do things under a time limit. And then skimming faster, right? So cooking, one reason that I love cooking is something that we do every day, and cooking is something that's under a time limit. When you cook, you are under a time limit. If you don't follow the time limit, you burn your food, right? So that's why cooking is actually a great skill to practice to understand time management in small amounts, right? Like when I cook, I have 4 things going at once, and this one is going to be done in 5 minutes, and this one is going to be done in 60 minutes, and this one's going to be done in 20 minutes, and this one's going to be done in 5 minutes. And I have to know, okay, I've got to be ready for this, and I have to be ready for this. That's a good skill. It gets your mind aware of time. And if you're not aware of time, then that's a problem when you're taking these tests. Okay? So you need to practice skimming. How can I read faster? How can I make better, quick notes that are organized using an outline? And then that final detail too. All right? If you can do those 3 things, then you'll be fine. Okay?
One of the most important things and the most difficult things, in my opinion, is the time.
Yeah,
in
it
the
is.
TOEFL test.
Yeah, it is. And it's ridiculous.
Even for writing and speaking.
Yeah, and again, the time limit is not really any value. It doesn't really have any real world value because in the real world, most of the time when you need to use a language, you're not under a time limit. You know, it's not like that. I mean, come on. You know, in the real world, if you're ordering coffee and you need to take a minute to think, you can. Okay? It's not like that. So it's weird that they put this extra pressure on you. But the only reason they do that is because they have to. The test shouldn't have a time limit, in my opinion. But they have to, because if they don't have a time limit, how can you give a test with no time limit? Right? You have to, right? Yeah. So unfortunately, you're right. It's not fair, and it's honestly, it's even hard for me. If I had to do it, it would be hard for me. But those are the 3 things that I would say you should work on. Okay, is work on outlining, and work on writing better notes, and if you work on those things, you'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I will do that. As you said, I think it's unfair that you put someone in a time limit if you want to, for example, evaluate their English. So you can talk to them, you know.
Yeah.
You will
That's
lose
exactly
the
right.
opportunity. For
Yeah.
example, in many university, they won't understand what is the level of your English. They
Yeah.
just look at your score.
That's right.
And
That's exactly right. That's
yeah.
a big flaw, a big problem with these tests, is that these tests, they're trying to find out if you know English like on a mastery level. But that's not what we need. We don't need English on a mastery level. We need English on a practical level. And
Exactly.
and there are many people who can take the test and they can pass the test, but they can't speak well.
Exactly.
That's a problem. That's a
I
problem.
know.
That's a big problem.
Exactly. I know many people that have a more score than me, but they cannot speak really fluently. They have a problem to communicate with others.
Right. And you're absolutely right that the best way to test someone's English is just to talk to them for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
They could just get rid of all the tests completely and just sit down and talk with somebody for 30 minutes about these things. If you can talk pretty well,
Exactly.
then that's all you need to do. It's not important if you know what a past participle is. It's not important if you
Yeah.
know what third conditional is. It's not. Those are not important things. But if you
Exactly.
can say what you feel, that's important. If you can say what you
Yeah,
think,
exactly.
that's important. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of industry behind that. For example, all of these tests is kind of industry, and they want to make money, and maybe they have some
Well,
lobbies.
that's part of it maybe, but I think most of it is just the fact that when you make a test and you have to give a test, you have to choose some time limit. But I think the time limits they choose, I think that those time limits are not really about your English. Those time limits are about they need that to be quick. They need it to be fast because they have many people to take the test, right? So the time limit is not about you. The time limit is not about your ability. The time limit is only about them, and they need to do it fast because it's a lot of people. That's it. That's my problem with the time limit, is the time limit really is not about your English ability at all. It's just about they need to do it quickly, because if they don't, then
Exactly.
they'll never finish. There will be too many people.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
get backed up. Very quickly,
That makes
let me
sense.
answer this question. Somebody said, I heard people say that C1 and C2 levels are fake. They claim that native speakers don't even use those words in real life. Here's what I will say about that. That is somewhat true. Not C1, but C2 for sure. Yeah, absolutely C2 level is weird. Here's what I like to do. Go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to write one story, but write it 6 times. And ask it to write that story at A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. So it's the same story, but one is written for a child and the other one is written for someone who has a PhD. Okay? And it is funny because when you see the C2 story, it doesn't sound normal. It sounds like someone is trying really hard to use big words. So I will say that is a little bit true. That C2 level is academic level English. And academic level English is not common English. That's only for academic places and academic people. So the average person, the average person doesn't know what the word mellifluous means. The average person doesn't know those level of words, and they don't use them in their daily life unless they try to. But language is part of culture. Culture is something that always wants to be in its simplest form, right? So
Exactly.
so the artists in any culture will push things to the outside, But the regular people, the normal people, they will listen to the simple music. So, for example, America, we have jazz music, and jazz music is very complicated. But most people don't listen to jazz music. Most people listen to simple music, like Lady Gaga and the Beatles or whatever. And so language is like that too. That language, unless you are in a situation where you need to use those big words, then you're not going to use those big words, and language will become its simplest form. So most people in America use A1, A2, B1, B2, and some C1. But the majority of people do not use C2 level words all the time. No. And a lot of them don't even know those words. Okay? C2 vocabulary, let's look at some C2 vocabulary very quickly. Let's see. Okay, so like the word.
If you want to actually convey your message.
Go ahead.
If you want to convey your message, and your message is kind of, for example, mathematics or physics or quantum physics, you have to convey your message in the simplest way that everyone understands you.
That's true.
Even your grandmother or even your children.
That's true. So, but here's the thing, though. I have helped. Some people have asked me to help them write their thesis papers, right? And thesis papers are for PhDs or for master's degree, right? And I always find thesis papers to be really funny because every thesis paper I have ever written is a very simple idea that they write in the most complicated way they possibly can. That's what a thesis is. A thesis is basically like, well, here's my simple idea. Now, how can I make myself sound really smart when I say this simple idea? So you use the biggest words you can and you try to explain it in the most complicated way you can. But nobody needs it to be that way. And Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, then maybe you don't really understand. And there are many people, who are like that. They can write the very fancy words, but then you ask them to explain it simply and they can't.
Exactly. I worked as a teacher assistant in undergrad school. I was a teacher assistant of mathematics and physics. And, all the students came to my class. They said that we don't know why you are teaching all that stuff about mathematics and physics better than our professor. I said, because I just try to convey my message, all that concept in the simplest way.
Yeah,
but the professor, they're just trying to make everything complicated. I don't know why.
Well, because I'll tell you why. Because every industry, every different field has terminology. It has language, right? And so for me, I'm not a physicist. So if you use physicists' terms, if you use terms of physics, I won't understand. But physics is the basics of life. Physics is not that hard. So you don't need to use the big words. You can explain it with simple terms. Physics is a perfect example because everything in physics is basic. These are basic things, basic ideas that should be explained with basic language. But when you are in a certain field, they don't use the simple words. They use the terminology, the specific terminology. And why do we do that? It's complicated. I think part of it is because they think that it's more clear. They think it's more clear. But the truth is, part of it is just ego. Every industry creates language because when you create language, you create respect.
It sounds that
you create respect.
They are much better than others.
That's right. You create respect. When you create language, you create respect. If your industry has a language, that must be that's real. That's a real industry. If you don't have a language, then you are not real. So that's why they do that. But you're right. It's a paradox that Language is something that is designed to be communication. It's designed to make people understand things better. But at the academic level, sometimes language is not used to make you understand better. It's actually used to make you seem like you're stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they will use big words to explain something that you do know it, but you can't understand it with the words they used. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So back to the original question. For the average American, yes, the average person only uses up to maybe a B2 level the most of the time. Some C1, some. C1 words are not that bad. You know, some C words are very common. Like, for example, let's see here. Let's look at some C1 words. C1 words like, there it is. Come on. Oh, this is taking too long. Here we go. C1, like the word comprehensive. Comprehensive. That's a C1 level word. It's a hard word, but it's not that bad, you know? Or contemporary, or credible, or critique, right? Those are not words that are like, oh, what's that mean? I don't know. Critique, I don't know that word. You know, like, that's so hard. So C1, I think, yeah, we do use C1. C2 level, you're right. C2 level is not for everyone and not for every place. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah, C2 is honestly sometimes just silly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it really is.
In some example, like TOEFL and exam, if you try to speak like a C2 or write like a C2, your score will decrease instead of increasing your score.
Yeah.
Because they want to understand in the easiest way and in the simplest way.
And again, that's missing the point. Language is about communication. It should be about simplicity. It should always be about simplicity, not about complexity. So I'm gonna show you what I mean here. Let's see. Write a 1-paragraph short story in 6 levels from A1 to A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Okay, let's just show you what this does. Let me share my screen so you can see that it will take a simple story and it's going to make it complicated for no good reason. You know, like, it's just weird, right?
Exactly.
So here's the A1 level.
Exactly.
Ben is a boy. He has a dog. One day the dog runs away. Ben looks for the dog. He finds the dog in the park. Ben is happy. So that's the most simple level, right? But now let's look and see how it looks like A2. Ben is a young boy who loves his dog. One morning the dog runs out of the house. Ben is worried and goes to look for him, right? It's simple, but it's better. B1. Ben, a 12-year-old boy, lives with his parents and his dog, Max. One Saturday, Max slips out the front door when no one is watching. So if you notice, A1 has the most basic vocabulary and the most basic grammar. A2, the vocabulary is a little bit more complicated, and the grammar, the sentences are a little bit longer, but it's still simple grammar. B1, the sentences are longer and they give more detail, especially about time, right? So look, Ben, a 12-year-old boy, they tell you how old he is, they tell you where he lives, they tell you that it's one Saturday, he slipped out the door, right? So they're using more detail, right? And then B2, Ben, a responsible boy with a deep bond with his dog Max, panicked when Max unexpectedly ran out the front gate. Now C1. When Max dashed out the front gate that morning, Ben was overwhelmed with dread. He scoured the neighborhood methodically, retracing familiar walking routes and checking local hangouts Max liked. Okay, this is still good. I think this is the average way that most smart people, that's the way we speak. But here, now we have, the moment Ben noticed the silence where Max barks should have been, a cold rush of panic crept in. The gate had been ajar, but barely, but enough. Hours passed in a blur of frantic searching, each corner of the neighborhood echoing with his desperate calls. When he finally found Max, soaked and ecstatic by the park fountain, the wave of emotion that crashed over him was indescribable. A kaleidoscope of fear, relief, love, and the stark realization that even the most trusted companions can vanish in a blink. That's weird. That's too much, man. That's too much. It's a story about a boy who lost his dog. But they made it into the most crazy thing. It's a story about a boy who lost his dog. But when you read this, you're like, I'm not sure what happened. I think a dog ran away, but I'm not sure. So yeah. C1, exactly. I think when you have a C1 level up to C1, people will understand you. But after C1, we actually have a loss of return on communication. So when you have an A1 level, your vocabulary is so limited and your grammar is so limited that your communication is limited by you because you don't know much. But when you get the advanced level of language, you also lose communication value because now you're using things in a way that's not simple. You're deliberately doing things in a complex way. That's not good. But this is a really easy, simple way for you guys to see what's the difference between B1 and B2? What's the difference between B2 and C1? All you have to do is just ask ChatGPT to write one story 6 times. And then you can just read it and you'll see, oh, look at that. Now I see the difference between B1 and B2 or B2 and C1. It's a really, really good way to understand the difference in the level of language.
Exactly.
And it's so simple. True. It's so simple. Just write 6 stories for me so I can see the difference. You can ask it to write an article, a short story, something. Just ask it to write something 6 times, 6 different levels. It's very, very beneficial. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
So Nima, good luck to you on this. I think you'll do fine.
Yeah.
Practice the things we talked about with reading faster and taking notes and outlines and things like that. I think you'll be fine. But, whatever happens, Nima, please remember that life is not about tests. So you do have good English. You have great English.
Really?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. That's not even a question.
Thanks for your compliment.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
Thanks for your compliment. It's kind of you.
No, you just need to keep working on it. And just remember that those tests, many, 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 many people with a great level and a great ability don't do well on those tests. You know? But many people do really well on those tests, but they don't have a great ability.
Exactly.
So don't worry about it. Remember, in the real world, the thing that matters is if you say words and I smile, then that's good. Then you're doing well, because I understood you. If you say words and I look like this, that's a problem, right? That's the only test that language needs. Language needs this test. If you say something and I go, then I understood. If you say something and I go, then there's your pass-fail. Okay? All right, Nima, thank you so much for coming on my stage, and come back and see me again sometime, okay?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Take care, my friend. I'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye bye.
All right. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, it's about time for me to get going here. Let me check on my YouTube people. Hello, Jeneth. There are words we say too much when we speak. How do you say that in English? For example, you know. Another one is because. How to avoid it? Janeth, you avoid it by avoiding it, right? I know what you're talking about. What you're talking about is something called filler words. Filler words are something that people do when they're a little nervous when they speak. For example, one of the most common filler words is the word like. So when people are kind of nervous, especially young kids do this so much and it's annoying. They'll say, well, I was like going to the store and like I couldn't find my like keys and like I was really upset because like I couldn't find my keys, and then my friend like called me and like after they like called me, like I went to like Stop it. Just stop. And I'll tell you how you stop. Slow down. When you speak like that, it's because your mind is going faster than your mouth can go. So you use those words like in there because they give you time. But you don't need them, you just need to slow down. No one wants to hear you speak like I was like. No one wants to hear that. Okay? And you know is another one. You know, I was like going to the store, you know, and after that, you know, we went to, you know, this, you know, and you know. Another one is, another common one today is, know what I'm saying? Know I'm saying? Know I'm saying? Know I'm saying? It's annoying when you say it all the time. We went to the store, you know what I'm saying? And after that, you know what I'm saying? We went to blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I do know what you're saying. In fact, I know, so you don't need to say that. Yeah, like is the big one. Yeah, okay? So you can avoid saying it by slowing down. Okay? You shouldn't use it all the time. The word like is a very valuable word, but it loses its value when you use it too much. Just yesterday, I was watching TV. There was a TV show called Court TV I like to watch sometimes. It's kind of funny. It's a video, it's like video of people in court, right, for various things, right? And they had this guy, there was this black dude there, he was a rapper, some kind of a rapper, and he was in trouble, and he's on camera on a video call. It was like a video courtroom, right? And the judge, he wanted to speak directly to the judge about his case and about his problem. And when he did, he could not stop using the word like, and she stopped him and said, let's stop using the word like and you know what I'm saying and all these words. You're in a courtroom. You should speak to me like you're in a courtroom. And she was right. You're not supposed to go to the judge and be like, Judge, you know what I'm saying? I'm blah, 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 yo, yo, yo. No, that is not that's not the appropriate language for a courtroom. And guess what? Because of his language, he got in trouble. He was not able to control himself when he spoke. He was not able to express himself when he spoke because he did not have control over these words. That's a problem. Okay? So, it can be a style of your speaking, Janeth, but it's not usually a good thing. And it's considered a bad habit, and it's considered something that doesn't help your communication, and it seems very immature. Young kids are the ones who usually do this. Okay? All right. Let me see. I'm trying to read a few more comments. Let's see. Your big problem in English is using phrasal verbs and tenses while talking. Do I have any advice to solve this problem? Phrasal verbs are hard. They are hard because there is no pattern or system of rules for them. They are improvised language, so they're new. Every one is new and different and doesn't follow any sort of rules, okay? But the way to learn them is in groups. So, for example, learn all of the phrasal verbs that use the word get. Get in, get out, get through, get over, get with, get to, right? Then learn all the phrasal verbs that have run. Run in, run on, run over, run out, run through, run with. Okay? So phrasal verbs can be done in groups, and that will help you a little bit. Okay? But they are difficult to remember because there are so many of them, and they are very... there are no rules to phrasal verbs. Okay? And then tenses. Tenses are difficult because we have so many of them, and some of them are useful, and we use them all the time. They're very common, right? Simple tenses are very common, but some of them are not common, and we don't use them very often, so they are hard to remember. But life is not a grammar test, so do the best you can, and if someone is confused, then you can use more words to try to help them understand better. All right? Okay, can I recommend some effective ways to expand your vocabulary? Yes. Okay, but I'm running out of time, so please listen. Read, 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 read. Read. If you want to learn vocabulary, then you must read. That is the number one way to learn vocabulary. Read. The number 2 way is to go here, thesaurus.com. Go to thesaurus.com. That is a website that is a thesaurus. A thesaurus is a book that tells you all the words that mean the same thing. So if you look up the word happy, then you can find words that mean happy that you don't know. Okay, so you're building on the vocabulary you already know. Then you can learn vocabulary by topic. So, for example, type in the word sports vocabulary and find all the words about sports. Type in the word cooking vocabulary and find all the words about cooking. Type in the word travel vocabulary, find all the words about travel. Pick a topic and then find the words about that topic. They're related that way, okay? And then the final way to learn vocabulary effectively is to learn something called etymology, which means where the words come from. Okay? There's your answer. All right. Let's see. Can I recommend some effective... Oh, okay, I just told you about that. Chaima Falag, did you hear my answer? I just told you 4 ways to learn vocabulary. And follow me here. I teach vocabulary here. I do several live streams about vocabulary. Okay? Okay, let's see. If I got paid $1 for every like young people say, you'd be rich. I know, right? Yeah. Let's see. Do you need to read anything? Well, yeah. Honestly, anything is fine. Reading is what's important. It could be a children's book. It could be a college textbook. It could be Shakespeare. It could be Stephen King. It could be a restaurant review. It could be a poem. It could be a movie review. It could be a short story. Just read. Just read. Okay? I mean, it's better if you read something you like. I recommend finding things to read that you like. You don't hear a difference between the words I'd and I'm and I'll. Look, I'd. I'd like to go to the store. I'd like to go to the store. I'd like to go to the store. I'm going to the store. I'm going to the store. I'm. And I'll go to the store later. I'll. So, chicha, if you don't hear a difference when you say them, it's because your mouth is not big enough. You're not making them different. If you're not hearing a difference when people say them, maybe you're listening to the wrong people. I bet you understand when I say them. Okay? What's the meaning of against? Against. Okay, let's do that. Let me look at that. I'm going to show you what I mean. So against comes from it's a Germanic word. And one moment, hold on. There it is. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Against is related to the word again. What does again mean? What does again mean? Again means one more time. That's right. That's the modern meaning. But the original meaning, the first meaning of again was actually against. It was opposite. Okay, so look, here is my hand. My other hand is now against it. Okay, it's against it. So, against is a word that means this team is going against that team. Okay, France is against England in the soccer match. Okay, they're against them. Okay, so to be against something is to be opposite and pushing back on, right? Like it's similar to versus, but not quite the same. Because versus means that you're fighting, but against could be something like my hand is leaning against the microphone. There's no fight. There's no fight here. My hand is against it. It just means like this. Okay? So it's leaning against the wall. Okay? The umbrella is leaning against the wall. Okay? So against has two meanings. It could mean to fight someone or to be opposite of something, or it could mean pushed up or leaning into. Okay? The opponent. An opponent comes from the word opposite, meaning to be on the other side of something. Okay? On the other side of something. Oh, okay. Be patient. Let's see. Is it correct if we practice assimilation? For example, I made a cake. Jessica, I'm not sure what you mean. To assimilate means to take on the same characteristics as someone or something or some group of other people. That's to assimilate, right? When you move to another country, most people try to assimilate to the new culture. Okay? How to pass from understanding to speaking English, please. Thanks in advance. That's very simple. Stop being scared. Senyo, if you want to speak English, then you must do one thing. Speak. And the more you speak, the better it will be. Okay? Is it important to understand everything when you read? No. No. Mike, here's what I will tell you, Mike. When you read, the best reading would be something that you understand most of it, but there are some words that are new. That's a good level for you. If you read one page, and on that one page you understand most of it, but maybe there are 3 or 4 or 5 new words on one whole page, that's a good level for you. Okay? Now, you could read a book that has 50 new words on one page, and that's okay. You can try. But it will be really hard and frustrating. So I don't recommend it. Not, at least you should do only a little of that. It's good to push yourself a little bit, but you should try to read things that you can read, but that challenge you a little bit. If you read baby books, okay, that's good, but you're not challenging yourself, so you're not going to grow or improve. Okay? Resist and against. What's the difference between resist and against? So resistance, let's see, comes from the old French word résister and the Latin word resistere, meaning to make a stand against or to oppose or to stand back or to withstand. So, what's the difference between resist and against? So, the difference between resist and against is something can be against another thing, like my umbrella is against the wall, but it's not fighting the wall. But resisting is about pushing back. So, when something is pushing on you, if you push back, then that is resisting. That is resistance. But against could be something pushing toward you, or it could just be something leaning on you. Right? Okay, so at its basic sense, if you're talking about science, right? Like science, everything has mass, right? And because it has mass, it has resistance. And we have gravity too, that we have to resist the gravity. I think that's probably going to make it too complicated. So the difference between resist and against, let me make it simple. Resist implies fighting back against something. Well, against just indicates you're opposing it, but you oppose it, but that doesn't mean you're fighting it, right? So resisting implies that you're fighting back. Against just implies that you just don't like it and don't agree. I'm against it. Okay, I'm resisting means I'm fighting back. I'm against it means I don't like it. Okay? You hangry, huh? No, not yet. Like I said, Mike, you should try to read things that you understand most of it. You've heard that there are some attitudes against vegetarians. What does it mean in this sentence? Some people are annoyed by vegetarians. You know, some people just get annoyed by it. That's all it means. Being a vegetarian means you don't eat meat, but some people do, right? So sometimes you have conflict there. Let's see. Please tell me how to memorize all structures with should. There are not that many ways to use should and shouldn't. Why is that hard for you? I don't understand what's difficult for you. there. Is there no word for should in Urdu? I'm guessing there is. What can you read? Oh, I don't know. What can you read? Do native speakers really care about grammar? Well, some do, and some don't. You can read English, but you can't understand it when it's spoken. Alan, I bet you can understand me. That means you can understand, but you can't understand everyone. And that's normal. Not everyone speaks well. Some people speak poorly. If they speak poorly, then of course you don't understand. Okay? You can choose whichever accent you want. No one cares. Quay. I don't know what quay is. Why are you trying to say quay? That's a brand. But that's not a word. It's just a brand. Ooh, no, it is a word. But nobody knows that word. A structure built parallel to the bank of a waterway used as a landing place? Okay, I think I may have heard that in a boating book once, but that's not a common word. I don't know why you need that word. Should be, should have been, should have to. Okay, right. So, here's what I'm going to do for you, Shah. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you how you can get this answer by yourself. Here is a complete and easy to understand breakdown of all the main uses of should, including explanations and examples. Giving advice or suggestions. Use should to tell someone what is a good idea or the right thing to do. You should eat more vegetables. He should study harder if he wants to pass. They shouldn't stay up so late. Number 2, expressing expectations, like something likely or expected to happen. So use should when you think something will probably happen or what is normal or expected to happen. The train should arrive at 6 p.m. She should be home by now. It shouldn't take long. Okay? Number 3, giving or asking for recommendations or opinions. Use should to ask what someone thinks is the best thing to do. What should I wear to the party? Do you think I should call him? Where should we go on vacation? Obligation, duty, or responsibility. It's kind of like must, but not as strong. Must is strong. Should is like, you should. Okay? Like telling any smart person, any normal good person would. So you should. Okay? Use should to talk about what is proper or the correct thing to do, especially with rules, responsibilities, or social norms. You should say thank you. Drivers should obey the speed limit. Parents should take care of their children. Now we have expressing regret or criticism of the past. Should have, right? So use this form when we're trying to say someone didn't do the right thing in the past. Like, I should have studied for the test. You should have called me earlier. They shouldn't have lied to her. Number 6, unreal or hypothetical situations, especially in formal or polite language. Should is used to express things like imagined, polite, or uncertain things, right? So, if you should need any help, just ask. Should you see him, tell him I'm looking for him. I should think she'll be fine. Now, this particular way of speaking is not that common anymore, especially in America. I think it's more common in British English, but not so common here, okay? Occasionally, but not that often. And then formal commands or requests, like should is used for official guidelines, instructions, or rules, right? All guests should register at the front desk. Students should submit assignments by Friday. This report should be completed before the meeting. It's really just like must. Again, it's like must. Okay? Then we have moral judgment or opinion. Use should to express things that are surprising, strange, or disappointing. It's strange that she should say that. I'm sorry you should feel that way. It's odd that he should forget your name. Now, again, same thing as before. This particular form of using should is not that common and not really necessary because you can say all of these without the word should. So, it's strange that she should say that. It's strange that she said that. I'm sorry you should feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way. It's odd that he should forget your name. It's odd that he forgot your name. So, that one's not even necessary ever. You can, but you don't need it. The last two, this one and number 7, formal commands and requests, not really necessary. 1 through 6, maybe. Actually, 6 is even still not that common. 6, 7, and 8. 7 is common, but 7 is just like must. It's the same thing as must. Okay? So, again, ChatGPT saves the day. And it was a very simple prompt. Look, explain all the ways to use should in all its forms and include simple explanations and examples. Okay? So there you go. There's your should answer. All right? Oh, good Lord. I'm trying to keep up. Do I talk to you like I'm talking Sergey, when I teach, yes, I use my teaching voice, which means that I do speak a little bit more slowly and a little bit more clearly. But I will tell you this, Sergey. In my real life, yeah, I sometimes speak more quickly and I use more slang and I speak more casually. But anytime I want someone to listen to me, anytime my words matter and it's important, I speak like this. Okay? So anytime. That's the way I speak when I want people to listen to me. Okay? Grammar is boring, but unfortunately necessary. Oh, Quay is pronounced like key? Oh, well, okay, fine. But guess what? Again, it's not a common word. It's a very uncommon word. At least I'm from Ohio. We live in the middle of the country. I'm not near any oceans. I have a river and some lakes. So we're not near any water. We certainly don't use that, key. And by the way, we also have the word key in English, which means a kind of water, a kind of body of water, right? Like the Florida Keys, Key West, Florida, right? So that word, let's look at the etymology of that. Yeah, the modern way that we spell it is usually K-E-Y. Or K-E-Y-E, or C-A-Y-E, but not Q-U-A-Y. Not a common word. Okay? Daniel says the quality of the camera is kind of bad. Is the quality of the camera bad, or is it just Daniel? Is it clear? Because it should be clear. It's clear for me. It's 1080. It starts, when I do it, it's 1080. I don't know what happens when it gets to you, but it's 1080 right here. So Daniel, it could be you. Now, if that's the case, Daniel, you could send HelloTalk a message and you could tell them, hey, I don't know why, but Teacher Mark's camera quality was very poor. Everybody else said that the quality was great, but it was poor for me. You can tell them that, and maybe there's a problem. Maybe they can figure it out. Okay? Or it could be just your internet. Maybe. All right? Let me check my YouTube here. Chaima Falag, you need to follow me more and just watch more of my live streams. You're on my YouTube channel already, so go watch some of my YouTube channel videos. There are many, many people ask me, how can I be more fluent? How can I be more fluent? How can I be more fluent? I have answered that question at least 100 times. At least. Probably more like 200 times. So just go watch some of my videos and you'll find my answers for that. Okay? No, Daniel, thank you for mentioning it. It's always not, you know, like, I like to, if people tell me that there's something wrong, that's good, because just like you found out, maybe it is for everybody, or maybe it's just you, or maybe it's me. It's kind of hard to figure it out, right? Unless you say something, right? But, Daniel, I would appreciate it if you would tell HelloTalk, because, yeah, it doesn't get better unless you tell them. Right? So anytime I have a problem or something's going wrong, I have a contact at HelloTalk and I talk to them and I tell them what happened. So that would be great if you could. I would appreciate it. Okay, so let me tell you guys this. Please give me 1 second here. If you are new, then hi, my name is Teacher Mark. I am an English teacher. I have been on HelloTalk for almost 12 years. I have 82,000 followers here. They follow me because I answer questions about reading, writing, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, everything. Okay? If you have a question about English, I have answered it before, I promise you. Okay? You can go to my website. You can follow me on my website right here. There's my website. You can also search for me on YouTube. There it is. Thank you very much for that, Zoe. AFIEC English on YouTube. Search for that. I have many, many videos. This video today is now on HelloTalk and also on YouTube. And when I'm finished, it will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can go watch it again. If you didn't hear my answer, if you want to watch it again and stop it and rewind and listen again, review, you can. Okay? You can. Can I look up the etymology of the word latitudinarianism? Well, okay, but I can tell you it just comes from the word latitude. Arianism, ism is always a way of doing something, a way of thinking, a style of philosophy or governance. That's isms, right? Arian is a person who does that, right? So a contrarian is a person who is contrary, right? And then latitude is the word you're looking for. So, but again, that is not a common word. Latitudinarian comes from the word latitude, and the word latitude comes from the Latin word latitudo, which means the breadth, the width, the size of something. Latitudinarianism just means open-mindedness. It just means having an open mind, and it means being broad-minded, because the word latitude means broad, wide. Okay? It seems l'attitude. Yeah, those are not related, but I see why you think they are. They look like they are, but in French, l'attitude, le is just French, right? That's just the word the. That's just the attitude, right? And attitude is different. Attitude and latitude are related, though. Let me show you. So the word attitude originally means the position or posture of something, right? So when we talk about attitude and latitude and longitude, these are all words that were designed to talk about the position or place of things in space and time, okay? Yeah. I can see why you thought that they were directly related, but they're not directly related. They're just related by topic. Okay? How to improve speaking skills, and do I have methods about it? Yes, I'm writing a book about all my methods, everybody, but I can't tell you all of them now. That's why I'm writing a book. But you can do one thing. Follow me here and on my website and on my YouTube. Okay, so there is my website, and here is my YouTube again. Whoops. This one. Search for that on YouTube and you will find me. Okay? How to speak in complex sentences. That's a weird question, because let me think, how do I say this? "如果你可以说简单的，你应该说简单的。为什么你需要说很困难的句子？为什么？我觉得你不需要。我不会说中文，为什么你问我？所以，我告诉你，如果你可以说简单的句子，你可以说简单的句子，你不需要说很难的句子。听得懂吗？OK。我觉得你要很多人，他们感觉你很聪明。You like clauses. Yeah, okay. This is a good question for ChatGPT or DeepSeek. Ask DeepSeek, how can I write more complex sentences? But let me tell you this. The problem with your question is your question doesn't have a good method to answer it. So the reason why is because you should not make a sentence complex for no reason. So what I think you should do is you should ask ChatGPT or DeepSeek to help you learn how to write complex sentences when they are needed. That's the important part. When they are needed is important, okay? Because they're not always needed. They're not always needed. Okay? Jack, huh? 奇怪 Jack, 奇怪。我是外星人。不行。Okay, I have to go, everybody. It's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. It's been long enough. I need to go. I'm going to go get some lunch. Okay? But the answers are out there. If you want to find them, you can. Everything that you want to learn in this life can be learned, but you need to go do it. Okay? All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Come back and see me again. And again, if you're new, just follow me. And please remember that nothing great can be learned fast. Let me say that again. Nothing great can be learned fast. So stop trying to just learn it fast and just pay attention and follow. Okay? Pay attention and follow. If you come and you want your answer and you don't get your answer and you leave, look at me, and I am telling you right now, you will never be successful if that's what you do. If you come to my room and you ask me your question and I don't answer you right away and you leave, then you will never be successful. Okay? But if you have the ability to learn fast, you can learn. Anything that can be learned fast can be learned better slowly. Okay? Anything that can be learned fast can be learned better slowly. All right? Okay. You'll wait until I leave. Huh? Wait some more. Ting budong. Okay. I gotta go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. See you next time.